Okay, we have 2 minutes, and just so you know, you will be able to see yourself on the screen over here. Just so that you know what you look like
Oh, okay.
on the screen.
Oh
so.
my God. Woo-hoo.
Right.
Let me take a deep breath. That's why they've given us a water bottle too.
We recording now? Should I tell them you can start? All right, gentlemen, we can begin.
Good evening. I would like to call today's meeting, September 19th, 2024, for the meeting of Forest Park Planning Commission to order. The Planning Commission serves as the recommending body for the mayor and the city council. The Planning Commission shall also recommend approval with conditions, or denial of applications being forwarded to the mayor and city council. All persons who wish to address the Planning Commission shall sign up on the form to be provided by the planning secretary prior to the commencement of this hearing. Each speaker shall speak only to the merits of the proposed petition under consideration and shall address his or her remarks only to the members of the Planning Commission. The applicant, as well as proponents for or against the petition, shall have 10 minutes to speak during the public hearing portion of this meeting. Prior to speaking, the speaker will identify him or herself and state his or her name and current address. Only persons who are signed up may speak to the petitions being heard. Staff will first present the petitions, then I will ask the board members if they have any questions. Then I will open the meeting for public comments, at which time the applicant will speak first, followed by additional speakers. Once everybody has spoken, then I will close the public comments for discussion and recommendations by the Planning Commission members. Today, we have the number of items, 2 items on the agenda. 3. There are 3. 2 items on the agenda. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
As for Hook,
Present.
Michael Clinkscales,
Present. Present.
Roderick Jackson,
Present.
Donald Williams,
Present.
Lois Wright.
Present.
You have a quorum, Chairman.
So the first item on your agenda would be approval of the minutes.
I would like to request the board to see if anybody has any objections on the approval of the last meeting's minute, which was held on June 20th, 2024. If nobody has any approval, can I get a motion to approve the meetings of June 20th, 2024 meetings, please? All in favor? Anybody against?
I motion.
Sorry about that. I see you, I get nervous. I need a motion for approval of the June 20th, 2024 meetings, please.
I motion for the June 20th, 24th meeting minutes to be approved.
Can I have a second, please?
I second.
All in favor of the approval of the June 20th, 2024 meetings, please?
Aye.
So we have no against. Meeting is approved. Can we move on to the second case on the table, please? Ms. Sivan, you want to begin? Sivan?
Yes. Can you all hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. So today's public hearing, we have case CUP 202402, prepared by Latimia Richards, Planner One. Staff recommendations approval. Applicant and property information, India Evans, 4914 West Street, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. Parcel ID 13050A D001, Ward 2, acreage 1.38. Current zoning is RM, which is our multiple family residential district. Future land use is medium density residential. And the applicant is requesting conditional use permit to open and operate a child care center from infancy to pre-kindergarten within a multiple family residential district. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to open and operate a child care center for children from infancy to pre-kindergarten at 4914 West Street. The applicant is proposing to utilize the existing building to offer a safe, nurturing, and educational environment. The majority of the building will consist of 5 age-specific classrooms. The rest of the building will consist of an equipped kitchen for meal preparation, waiting area for parents and visitors, reception area, and administrative offices. The operation hours will be Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. This property is located within our multiple family residential district. Per section 8-8-32, multiple family residential district, pre-K and daycare centers require conditional use permit to operate within this district. The property is located within a residential neighborhood. Through the report, we have the aerial map, which shows the location. And on our next page is our zoning map, which shows the zoning and the contiguous zoning surrounding the area.
Mhm.
The survey is present, as well as site photos. So we have the front view, front north view, side, which is the west view, the rear, which is our south view, and the front east view. There's also photos for the side east view and the rear east view. Zoning criteria and analysis. The existing land uses and zoning classifications nearby. North is IC, which is institutional commercial. South is RM and RS. Single family residential and multiple family residential. East is multiple family residential and institutional commercial, and west is institutional commercial. This is suitability of subject property for the zone purposes. The subject property is compatible with the uses permitted in the zoning district. The extent to which the property values and subject property are diminished by the particular zoning restrictions. Property values will not be diminished because use is permitted as a conditional. The extent to which the diminution of property values of the subject property promotes health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the public. The subject property will not cause diminution of the property values. The relative gain to the public as compared to the hardship imposed upon the individual property owner. The relative gain to the public is providing high quality early education and care that fosters children's growth and development. 6, whether the subject property has a reasonable economic use as currently zoned. The subject property has a reasonable economic use as currently zoned. The site was previously a daycare center. 7, the length of time the property has been vacant as zone considered in the context of land development in the area in the vicinity of the property. The property is continuing its use as a daycare center and will be operated by the new tenant. 8, whether the proposed zoning will be a use that is suitable in view of its use and development of adjacent and nearby properties. The property use is suitable for the site because the property is next to local strip shopping and adjacent to multifamily residential building. 9, whether the property zoning will adversely affect the existing use of usability of adjacent or nearby property. The proposed use might cause an adverse effect on the existing use of adjacent or nearby properties, the increased traffic during pickup and drop-off times, and the movement of traffic on a 2-lane road. 10, whether the zoning proposal is in conformity with the policies and intent of the land use. The zoning proposal is not in conformity with the policies and intent of the land use because the future land use designation is medium density residential, which includes duplexes, triplexes, townhomes, condominiums, and single-family residences attached and detached. 11, whether the zoning proposal will result in a use which will or could cause an excessive or burdensome use of existing streets, transportation facilities, utilities, or schools. The zoning proposal might cause excessive use of existing streets, transportation facilities, utilities, or schools between drop-off and pickup times. 12, whether there are other existing or changing conditions affecting the use and development of the property which give supporting grounds for either approval or disapproval of the zoning proposal. There are no existing or changing conditions that affect the use and development of this property. Staff recommendation. The applicant meets 10 zoning criteria for approval. However, if the board chooses to approve this request, staff recommends the following conditions. 1, the owner of the property must repave and stripe the parking lot. Replace old signs with new signs, cut the grass at the front entrance, side and rear of the property, and add entrance and exit signs. And then we've attached accompanying materials. We have attached the letter of intent as well.
Okay, so we will open the floor for anybody who has any questions for, against, from within the public area here. Anybody, members, who have any questions? If there's nobody from the floor. Is the applicant here, Mr. Vaughn?
Is the applicant present? Do you have
Do
any?
you have anything to say here, ma'am? You have any questions? Please come up to the podium, sir. So
Thank
please
you,
state
board.
your name, your address.
My name is Reverend Michael Scandrick. I'm a daycare provider for 37 years in the county. I want to make sure that I'm not speaking against something that I'm a little miscompleted. The location that I'm looking at on this page, will you present that to them for me, Ms. Meese? This is not that. Is this the same one we're talking about?
The address?
Is this the one? Will you show them the building? Because I don't want to speak out against something else.
Does this one have something to do with it? Thank you.
I don't want to speak on it. Thank you so very much. I'll speak on it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Mr. Vaughn, you want to clarify what he was saying?
Yes, so the member of the community, he was stating that he thought the report that he wanted to speak on was 4914 West Street, but he was looking at the second report in the packet and
I got you.
yes, so he wants to speak on the second report and not the one that I just went over.
So other than that, there's nobody for or against on the 4914 West Street? Anybody on the board members have any questions?
Question I have concerning the conditions. Are you willing to meet those conditions?
Ma'am, you want to step up to the podium, state your name, address, and then can respond to the question, please?
My name is India Evans, and yes, I'm willing to meet the requirements. I'm sorry, 4914 West Street, Forest Park, Georgia 30297.
So you will give something in writing to the Planning and Zoning Department with reference to the suggestions that they have made.
Yes,
Any other questions from any members of the board? Do we have a motion in any directions?
I motion that it be approved for the use of a daycare with conditional use, of course, with the things that have just been discussed.
And I second.
All in favor? Aye. So motion, any against? No. So the motion is approved with the conditions as
Thank you.
suggested by the staff. Thank you.
And also, just to address the board, we will be providing her with a decision letter after this meeting so that she's aware of the conditions that need to be met as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Now you can go on to the second one, please, Ms. Anj.
Yes, the second case is case number CUP 2024-03. Conditional use permit. Staff recommendation is denial. The applicant and property information name is Daedrin Lakes, 1042 Main Street, Forest Park, Georgia 30297. Parcel ID is 13049B, F002B, Ward 3, acreage 0.34, zoning downtown Main Street District. Future land use is mixed use transit village. The request is the applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to open and operate a child care center for children aged 6 weeks to 12 years old at 1042 Main Street. The applicant is proposing to utilize 2 units addressed 1042 and 1044 Main Street at this location to cater to the specific needs of each age group. The operation hours will be Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. This property is located within the downtown Main Street district per section 8-8-30, downtown Main Street district. Pre-K and daycare centers require conditional use permit to operate within this district. Attached to this packet, I have provided the aerial map which shows the location vicinity on Main Street. And also the zoning map which shows the zoning of the property and surrounding areas. The survey, as well as site photos, is also located in this packet. So we have the front view, the rear, east and west. The zoning criteria and analysis. The existing land use and zoning classifications of nearby properties, north, south, east, and west are all downtown Main Street district. 2, suitability of the subject property for the zone purposes. A daycare center is permitted as a conditional use. 3, the extent to which the property values of the subject property are diminished by the particular zoning restrictions. The property values of the subject property will not diminish the zoning restrictions. The extent to which the diminution of property values of the subject property promotes the health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the public. The subject property will not cause diminution of the property values. The relative gain of the public as compared to the hardship imposed upon the individual property owner. The relative gain to the public is providing quality child care for the community. 6, whether the subject property has reasonable economic use as currently zoned. The subject property has reasonable economic use as currently zoned. 7, the length of time the property has been vacant as zone considered in the context of land development in the area, in the vicinity, and of the property. The subject property has been vacant for almost 1 year. Previous businesses were a supermarket and a clothing retail store. 8, whether the proposed zoning will be a use that is suitable in view of the use and development of adjacent or nearby properties. The proposed zoning is not suitable for the use and development of adjacent properties and nearby property as there is a daycare center behind the property and traffic congestion will increase on Phillips Drive and Main Street. 9, whether the proposed zoning will adversely affect the existing use or usability of adjacent or nearby properties. The proposed use may have an adverse effect on the existing uses within the buildings as the 2 units are right next to Minuteman Press. 10, Whether the zoning proposal is in conformity with the policies and intent of the land use. The zoning proposal is not in conformity with the policies and intent of the land use, as the site has a future land use designation as a mixed-use transit village, which allows for a mixture of neighborhood-friendly, commercial, office, and residential uses and vertical arrangements. 11, whether the zoning proposal will result in a use which will or could cause an excessive or burdensome use of existing streets, transportation facilities, utilities, or schools. The zoning proposals might cause excessive use in existing streets, transportation facilities, utilities, or schools. The daycare center behind the subject property uses on Phillips Drive as an entrance for drop-off and pickup times. 12, whether there are any existing or changing conditions affecting the use and development of the property, which give supporting grounds for either approval or disapproval of the zoning proposal. The existing condition affecting the use and development of this property is the spacing for the outdoor play area for each child. Per section 8-8-733, daycare standards, each child daycare facility shall provide not less than 200 feet of outdoor play area for each child based on a maximum permissible enrollment. Staff recommendation. The applicant does not meet all zoning criteria for the approval, therefore staff recommendation is denial of the conditional use permit to open and operate a child care center for children at this location. And then there are also attachments included as far as letter of intent.
Is the owner of the property here? Not. So is there anybody against it that's will,
Okay.
nobody, the owner of the property is not here representing the property. Anybody who wants to say something against it? Please, sir, go ahead.
I'm gonna talk very loud, please.
State your name and address.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Reverend Michael Scandra. I'm the proprietor or owner of the daycare directly behind it, 4932 Phillips Drive. I've been there approximately 30+ years. Couple of things that I'm very concerned about with this other daycare that's really is not presentable for a daycare. And the reason I can speak on it, I want to speak on it first for safety. I lost 2 children. I ain't got over it yet because the building that I was prior leasing in DeKalb County was too close to the street. And you know how children get excited. They ran out in the street. And they died. And I ain't got over it yet. Please, sir. Not only that, it's not presentable because it doesn't have windows. It has a cement. You have to put 8 inches plus of mulch. When it rains, it's gonna be all over the place. And because of the hazardous in that area, somebody gonna get killed. Please don't let that happen. And I tell you, 32 years, and this is still haunting me. I wish I would have never got those licenses. Some things can be just not properly. So, thank you, sir.
We feel for you, Reverend. We feel for you. I'm sorry that happened. May God bless you. May peace be with you. So any of the staff members, you have any questions?
I like to, all right, to the area that they're talking about, is that where the old, at the corner, right there at the old, Christian, pharmacy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Call is directly beside a bus stop.
Mhm.
As you know, children and parents have a tendency to stay
Yes.
Mhm.
How I lost my because that's 5 feet from the side, from the curb. When you step out, you are in the street.
Mhm.
And then, you know, we think we got rubber bumpers. So we get in the middle of the lane and expect cars to respect us. Well, they did respect 2 of my children. She had 4, but they killed the other 2. And I tell you, I will never forget that. And every time I see a hazardous position with children, I think I'm obligated to speak up. Not to say I've been there 32 years and abiding by all the codes and regulations that you put on us, which is good. But please, we cannot stand another situation.
I agree.
People doesn't respect that. It's a red light. It's hazardous. Then this Christian pharmacy done move. So everybody just shooting around there trying to find a way out. And thanks to the police officers who trying to prevent them from running the red light. But you can't stop children from getting excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else has to say anything? Otherwise, the floor is closed for any questionings or answers. Any members that have to say anything?
Because I'm very familiar with that area, also would like to say that isn't a very safe area for kids to be at all. It's only approximately maybe 16 feet. I have a 20-foot trailer, 20-foot van, and it won't fit in the parking. in
I
front,
agree.
so- And then the back of that building is all concrete, black top. It used to be Mickey's or Mikey's print. So I don't think it's a suitable building because I've been in that building myself.
Me too.
So if nobody in the membership has a question, can we move a motion? Either which way, approve or deny?
I motion that it be denied.
Anybody,
second.
any second?
I second it.
All in favor of the denial?
Aye.
Aye.
So the motion is denied. So let's close it out.
One time they told me, said, you don't have to say anything else. I was walking, person who was completely walking without me. And there was a cop that was 22 years. And I was hearing him.
If there is no other things on the agenda, I will ask a motion be made to adjourn the meeting for September 19th, 2024. Can somebody make a motion? Can we have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor to adjourn the meeting? So the meeting is adjourned. Huh? She doesn't want to go home. Let me give her a candy. Let me give her a candy. Here you go. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.